Hey everyone, back for round 2 here of our modern daily with Dredge. We're on the play, right? Yeah, we're on the play. This hand's fine. We have double Gravecrawler, so I guess we could go turn 1 Faithless Looting, discard a Vengevine something, and then turn 2 just play 2 Gravecrawlers, get back 1 Vengevine. At least that's guaranteed. So we're definitely keeping this hand. It'd be super sick if we drew like another Vengevine off this looting or something. I'll just take the Cliffs. Grave Troll would also be nice. I'll accept that. Lands. Not the most exciting. Okay, I'll just get rid of those. Not usually what you expect out of a 22 land deck. But this is fine. You know, turn 2, putting a Vengevine in play, having 2 Gravecrawlers is not bad also. Ooh, what is this? Seachrome Coast Serum Visions. By myself, I would just by like just those 2 cards, I would put them on ad nauseum. They could also just be like a blue-white control deck. But I guess ad nauseum also plays Scry lands sometimes instead of like these lands, or they play a combination. Oops, no, didn't mean to do that. So it's either ad nauseum or blue-white control. If it's ad nauseum, that's not a good matchup. If it's blue-white control, that's a very good matchup. So we'll see how that works out. Doesn't really change our plan though. Man, another land. Not wanting to draw more lands here really, but can't do too much about it. And we have a Vengevine. Off to the races. Attacking for 4 on turn 2. It's not too bad. Pretty good in Modern. Having 8 power on board by turn 2 is, you know, above average. I feel like by this turn we'll probably know if they're playing. Okay, if they're playing ad nauseum or something else. I would put them on ad nauseum with Serum Vision and Sleight of Hand, having like all these cantrips. Yeah, there's a Lotus Bloom. Yep, this is definitely ad nauseum now. They hit their Lotus Bloom on turn 2 though, so that puts them a turn slower than they usually want to be. And I think we have them on a 2-turn clock now, so we will be killing them in theory before this Lotus Bloom goes off. Oh man, another land. I mean, we have a Faithless Looting flashback, but this is not. Deck has not been that kind to us after our opener 7, which was pretty good, but we'll just looting. See what we hit. Okay, those aren't lands. I'll just discard lands, I suppose. I'll just hardcast this Vengevine next turn. But not a bad start. On the play, being able to attack with a Vengevine on turn 2. Like, they need to have an Angel's Grace now to prevent themselves from dying, or Unlife, Phyrexian Unlife. That's a Pented Prism, so I don't think they're playing Unlife this turn. Murderous Cut doesn't really do anything in this matchup. Get a Tomb, hardcast Vengevine. It's also kind of nice that like your combo piece Vengevine, you can also just hardcast it. It's not unreasonable. Just a 4 mana 4/3 haste, not a bad rate. So there's the Grace. So they're gonna go to 1. They don't die, but now they're gonna need an Unlife or another Grace to go off, and they're also probably gonna need something else to make it so they don't die the next turn because their Lotus Bloom's still suspended for another turn. But I guess in theory they could go off this turn if they go like land, Angel's Grace ad nauseum. They don't even need this Lotus Bloom. But that would be a pretty good hand for our opponent then. And there's not too much our deck can do to really stop it. Like, you know, we were able to put out a quick clock. Okay. Like I was saying, we were able to put out a quick clock, which is all we can do in this matchup. At least game one. We could have, like, I guess, Abrupt Decay to kill Pented Prisms and stuff like that. But that's about it. Like, post board, so now we're going to take our Lightning Axes, our Gnaw to the Bone, our Murderous Cut. Gnaw doesn't do anything because I think the Ad Nauseam decks can deal around 40 damage with Lightning Storm, or whatever the card's called. And I don't think we can consistently make it so we can gain that much life every game. So I'm just going to take them out. I have played against Ad Nauseam once before. I was told it was a bad matchup, but we won. I think I got a bit lucky, though, so not 100% sure on that. Dark Blast is going to come out. I think we could leave Loam. Sometimes, like, you know, Loam's not that good in this matchup. Ghost Quarter is probably not going to be a good way to try and fight them, but I just don't want to take out that many Dredgers. Maybe I take out a Loam, though. It doesn't even get pitched like a Lalatrol. It's kind of just the most awkward piece. Anyways, what else we're bringing in? We're probably going to bring in Abrupt Decay, because that can kill Pented Prisms, it can kill Phyrexian Unlifes. Ancient Grudge can also kill artifacts too. I see bringing in like a Ancient Grudge. Spellscape doesn't really do much. I think this is fine as is. Yeah. You know, so post-forward games, we're looking to do the same thing, which is put a quick clock on. Hopefully have like a duress or some sort of like way to break up their combo, slow them down if we can. Well, this hand's okay. This is probably going to be turn 3 Dredgevine. I think we actually play our Gravecrawler here. I'm trying to think, though. So they do get a Lotus Bloom, they get Serum Vision. We could not play this Gravecrawler, and then pitch it to Lalatrol and try it, and then ensure that on turn 3 we can put a Dredgevine into play. I don't mind that either. I don't think the 2 points is going to be that relevant. And I kind of want to give ourselves the most chance to be able to play Dredgevine on turn 3. Or to not cast it, but to put it into play from our graveyard. Life from the Loam, not the best here, because like I said, you can't discard it to Lalatrol, so that was one of the reasons why I was thinking about taking it out. Maybe I should have. Alternatively, you can actually take out Ghost Quarters against certain matchups where it's not good, because, like I said, it's supposed to be like a spell land, so if it's just not good in the matchup, it doesn't really affect that you're taking a land out of your deck. So that's one thing that you can do against some matchups if you're having trouble taking out cards for sideboarding. There's a Gurmag Angler. So we're going to play the Troll. Try to think if that's going to make anything easier. We don't really have many cards on our graveyard, so I don't think it will really... I don't think we can play it next turn. Maybe if we hit like a Faithless Looting we could, but... There's a Pented Prism, so they're going to have a ton of mana next turn, with the Lotus Bloom also coming off Suspend. I think we're going to want to hit, like, a Duress here, or something of that nature. There's a Grave Troll. That doesn't really do anything. What can I do this turn? I'm trying to think of how we don't die. I don't think Ghost Courting will matter, because I do believe they play, like, one of each basic, so one basic Swamp, one basic Island, one basic Plains. We could Ghost Quarter our own land, and that nets us a mana for Delving. But we also foothills, and that's kind of the same thing. Well, actually, no. This adds more because it puts 2 lands in the graveyard. So it adds 2 mana, I guess, if we're looking at Delve. So 1 mana for Gravecrawler. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to have to exile my Grave Troll. But then I get a Gravecrawler, an Angler, and a Vengevine, which makes the best clock. I think we have to do that. So let's discard that. I don't think we're going to be able to get value out of our Grave Troll dredging, really. This game, I feel like we're probably just going to lose next turn, but we have to play to our outs. I'll get rid of my Tomb, because I can get a Forest. It's also kind of interesting that, Ghost Quarter can net you mana with Delve. It's come up a few times. It's also been used, like, if your second land's a Ghost Quarter and you kind of need to play a Troll, you can usually Ghost Quarter your land after you flow mana and then get the basic land that you need, and then be able to cast your Troll. Okay, so we do this, get back that, and get rid of our Grave Troll. Did I miscount somewhere? I must have miscounted then. I thought I had enough that I could keep my Vengevine. Was I including my Gravecrawler in my graveyard? Tap this. 1, 2. Looks like I did miscount. So I do need to exile my Vengevine anyways? Ugh, that's rough. I'm gonna still do it, because I want to put 5 power on board. Now we're not even threatening lethal next turn. So there's kind of a lot of time. I thought I had enough to keep my Vengevine in so it would come back, but apparently not. But I would say there is a good chance we're just gonna lose on this turn, and there wasn't really much we could do about that with this draw. Maybe we're supposed to mulligan more aggressively for, like, Duresses or at least Faithless Lootings to find those cards. There's an Unlife. They have 5 mana. They could cast Ad Nauseam. Looks like they're not, though, so they might not have that Ad Nauseam then. Okay, so this is why we played out. Maybe they don't have it. Let's go with Faithless Looting. Two Lala Trolls, eh? I think we just attack with all of them, then play a second Troll. So this is... Yeah, we weren't going to be able to be putting them to negative life this turn. We could have pitched our Troll to that, but that would put them at 2. I'm just going to play this Troll then. So now we're just hoping they don't have an Ad Nauseam, or they can't find it. But I think this deck has, like, Mystical Teachings and a bunch of cards that can find it. But apparently they're not finding it. This is a weird game. So I guess we looting. See if we could find a Duress on the land would probably be the best. But again, like, what could they have in their hand then? Maybe it's all lands? Let's attack here. So the way this works, the way Unlife works is you don't lose by having 0 less life, and because this hit, they were at 3 life, they go to the negative life, but they don't lose. And then now they start taking poison damage, or infect damage, instead. So the next hit will deal them all infect damage and will be lethal because it'll be more than 10. unless they have anything crazy. But it doesn't do like, you know, they take 3 life and then start taking poison. It's because the whole hit has to resolve at the same time. So this card's actually like really good at buying that Nauseam player time against aggressive decks. Huh, they just didn't have it. Well, I guess that's lucky for us then. You know, like the last time I played against that Nauseam, the same thing also happened. I thought I was dead in some spots and they didn't have it. I guess that's just the nature of the deck though. Sometimes it's a little inconsistent. But, you know, like I said, once again, this matchup, we did all we could, which was just apply an aggressive clock and hope that we'd be able to kill them before they could go off with their combo. We didn't see any of our, like, hate cards. Like, if we'd drawn a Abrupt Decay there, we could have Abrupt Decayed the Unlife, and then they would have died being a negative life. Or Duress would have also, you know, stopped them from assembling this or whatever. But we do win the match. We're 2-0 now. Good start. You know, this shows that this deck can race against combo decks, because you think this deck's good against fair decks, so then it makes it weak to combo, but if we can get aggressive Vengevines like game 1, we can put a quick clock on them and really pressure them to find their cards. So I'll be back for round 3 then.